Damn.
Fat ass. You want a treat? Okay, sit. Good boy. Yo, chat, what's up, fam? What y'all think about that little IRL session, you feel me? Yeah, your boy getting into some new fields, yeah. I thought, I should switch it up a little bit, cause you feel me, though, the desktop was getting a little bit, a bit washed, so I thought, you feel me, let me get a little rotation, you feel me? But nah, you already know what it is, classic yap session, we got the Eats public sub, and we can't forget, I got me some Minute Maid. Yes, sir. Got me some Minute Maid. If y'all want to know what the public sub combo looking like, we rocking with white bread. We got some mayo, yellow mustard, buffalo sauce, chicken tender, obviously. We got some white American cheese. Toppings consist of tomatoes and lettuce. And we can't forget, we gotta have that boy toasted. You can't forget it. Hold on, let me pour up some Minute Maid before I get to yapping real quick. Nah, let me get a bite of the sub real quick. Hold on. Y'all already know how this goes. Damn, my shit oily. Pause. But look at it eats though. Alright, hold on. Look at it eats though, cub. Hold on. Let me just. Hold on. I'm parched. Let me wash it down with some Minute Maid. So look, right, high school. Some of my years in high school were like really up there, and some of them were just low-key ass, I'm not even gonna lie. If I were to go about ranking my years in high school, since I'm basically a graduate, well, I am a graduate. Now that I'm fully graduated and I'm in college, I low-key kind of fuck with high school though. You know what I'm saying? I got to meet all the cool people. Feel me? I got to get introduced to new experiences. So if I were to rate all my years in high school, all 4 of my years in high school, this is what I would give them. Freshman year, I'm giving a 3 out of 10, bro. Freshman year was ass for me. If you haven't watched my one video about me hating my middle school, I'm gonna basically recap it right now. Long story short is, I applied to a middle school. I got denied, all my homeboys got in, and I had to go to like some all-white middle school basically. During those 3 years of that middle school, I basically got de-blackified if I'm really being honest. So if you take a person, a black kid like me, going into an all-white middle school. Well, not all white, but a mainly all-white middle school. You put that nigga in there for 3 years, and he come back whitewashed and shit like that, and you put him in a mostly black high school. That nigga is barely gonna fit in. Like, don't get me wrong, I still have my clique. And in fact, I have my clique since elementary school going to that school with me. So since I already had, niggas since I knew from the sandbox in high school, I'm like, okay, I got some friends, but I'm trying to get some, you feel me? I'm trying to get some more friends. This is high school, my nigga. Long story short, I was a corny ass nigga. Low key, corny ass nigga. Like, I made friends and shit like that, but I could definitely, like, you feel me? I could have made more relationships if I wasn't so fucking corny. But I mean, who wasn't corny in freshman year in high school? Who wasn't corny like that, though? I will say freshman year is the year that I started appreciating some black chocolate, you feel me? Hey, them 3 years when I was in that middle school with them all white folk, I was only taking a liking to Latinas and a little bit of snow bunnies, you feel me? I didn't know what the black chocolate had to offer until I got the black chocolate territory. When I first got into high school, I was stereotyping. I was like, black females are loud, they're gonna be ghetto, they're gonna have nappy hair, this, that, and the third. They're not gonna look good to me, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna stick to my white chocolate, you feel me? I was so wrong, bro. I'm looking at these joints are bad, bro. Oh my god, these joints were so bad. Since this was like a main black people type of school, like mostly black people went there, it was open season for these black joints. I remember asking my homeboy and homegirl, I was like, hey, why they bangs, swoop to the side like that? Why they bangs swoop like that? My homeboy and homegirl was like, those are edges. Are you good? You never seen edges before? I'm like, edges? Shit, I like my joints fried, dyed, laid to the side, you feel me? I'm low-key thinking to myself, is this what I've been missing out on? All these fine black chocolates over here, this what I've been missing out on? The saying, once you go black, you really can't go back, is actually a true saying too, like before high school, I used to be on some white chocolate, you feel me? Now that I came into the chocolate realm, I don't want to leave, bro. I'm staying. Ever since I got into high school, I've only had eyes for black girls, and I only shot my shots at black girls, I'm telling you, fam. I'm telling you, once you go black, you really cannot go back. I'ma up my rating from freshman year from a 3 out of 10 to a 5 out of 10. Cause even though I ain't like it that much because of myself and I was corny and I ain't have that many niggas to talk to and shit like that, I still kind of fuck with it though. It was a 50-50 low key. I still had niggas in, you feel me? I still had niggas in the circle. Next, I'm gonna give my sophomore year a 10 out of 10, Hey, for my homeboys and homegirls who watch my YouTube channel, y'all know sophomore year was the best, most peak time in high school, bro. Hold on, let me show y'all something on my phone real quick. Let me show y'all how peak sophomore year was. When I tell you this shit was so peak, bro. Yo, back in them days, bro, we had everybody in that joint, even though there was times like niggas was really going through it, like in the mental, bro, niggas was really going through it back then. But still, it was the most peak time in high school. I remember if we had a problem with each other, we would go by the pond. We would have this park across the street from our school. We would go by the pond and we would slap box each other and handle that shit like real men. It got to the point where one of my homies brung boxing gloves and I boxed one of my homies on the riverside. We had a whole fight club going on. Nah, sophomore year was genuinely a movie to us, bruh. Even the breaks in sophomore year's summer was lit too, bruh. Everybody was outside. A young nigga was even growing his hair out and starting his locks during sophomore year, and look at my shit now, my shit tall. No questions about it. Sophomore year, 10 out of 10, bro. 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10 if I must say, Alright, so look, next is junior year. Junior year, I'm gonna give a smooth 7 out of 10. No, 7.5 out of 10. Junior year was definitely calm and slight, you feel me? I met some cool ass niggas, you feel me? I got, good classes. That's when I got my first job, so I was getting paper like that. Well, not like that, but I was still getting paper. That's when I locked in with my girl, you feel me? Hey, junior year was slight. It was cool. The one thing I didn't mess with in junior year though was the workload. That workload was so, like, I was doing work every single day. And I know that's like, hey, JT, nigga, it's school. Of course you're doing work. No, like I had homework from each class every single day, plus I had a job, and then I would have to actually have I would actually have to go to sleep, my nigga. Like, I'm not gonna lie, junior year, it was definitely a lot work-wise, bro. Like, you was overwhelmed with a bunch of work your junior year. I definitely would relive my junior year, though. It's definitely top 2. Sophomore year is definitely number 1, my nigga. Nothing's beating sophomore year, bro. On me, nothing's beating my sophomore year. Last but definitely least, my nigga, is senior year. Senior year was, I'm not gonna say it was ass, but it definitely wasn't good. Like, low-key, there were definitely some peak moments senior year. I'll give senior year that. But mostly, it was kind of just me, like, just going to class, going through the motion, going to work, go back home, eat, sleep, repeat, my nigga. Like, it wasn't really that peak. Don't get me wrong, though. Them free periods was a blessing. But don't get me wrong, them free periods were a blessing, cuz. Shit, you telling me I get to come out of school at 12:30 and the rest of these bum ass niggas can leave at 12:45? Say less, bro, I'm out. And that's when I was able to drive to and from school because I have my license. Say less, I'm out. I give senior year like a 4.5 or 5 out of 10. It was low-key a hit or miss. I'm not even gonna lie. Hey, but nah, the perks in senior year were actually pretty good though. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie, bro. Like that whole free period, me being able to leave class early, this, that, and the third, my teachers being chill, that was actually a blessing. I'm not gonna lie. I can't sit there and downplay that. Like, genuinely, I used to be skipping class, not coming back during lunch. Even during lunch, I would walk off the campus. Me and my homeboy, we would just walk off the campus and go get McDonald's and come back. We would be late as fuck, but we really didn't care like that, though. Yeah, nah, let me up it to like a 6 out of 10, because I'm not gonna lie, the freedom senior year was actually crazy. We had so much freedom. But nah, that's it for the little yap session, you feel me, about me ranking my high school years. I'm probably not gonna go too hard on the edits for real on this video because it's just a slight yap session, and low-key I really want to test the IRL equipment, see how that's going down. But yeah, man, if y'all boys, you know, like the content, you already know what I'm about to say. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on them post notifications so you get notified when your boy posts. You feel me? And yeah, thank you for watching to the end. I'll catch y'all boys later. Peace.